Okay, all right, guys. So now we'll be discussing about Aurobindo Ghosh, which is a part of topic number 9, Indian political thought, paper 1, section 1. So let's get started. तो ऐसे दिखते हैं औरबिंदो घोष. He's called as prophet of Indian nationalism. Dashrath sir, you want
Uh,
to read?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Introduction 1872 to 1950. Acha, he had seen the independence. He belonged to extremist phase. He is critic of moderates. He is against constitutional methods. He gave the theory of passive resistance. Gandhi continued on his work. Biggest contributor in the theory of Indian nationalism. He is termed as prophet of Indian nationalism. Later moved away from the active politics towards a spiritual upliftment. As Rabindranath Tagore told that world will come to know the essence of India through the writings of Aurobindo. Aurobindo synthesized the philosophical system of East and West into an integrated philosophy. Wow. As criticism of moderates, Aurobindo was dissatisfied with early nationalists like Dadabhai Naoroji, S.N. Banerjee on view of British Raj. They considered it as a blessing in disguise, especially Dadabhai Naoroji, and considered British as source of modernization. They proposed mild constitutional methods like prayers, petitions, protest within legislature. They wanted Swaraj within British Empire and a status of dominion states like other colonies. In his article, New Lamps for Old, in newspaper Hindu Prakash, he criticized early nationalists. He told that foreign rule is evil and it stops the natural growth of a nation. He was first to talk about the Purna Swaraj, not the dominion status. Emergence of India as nation has divine significance. Universal spirit has chosen India to spread its message, which can't be spread through slavery. So India had to come out of slavery. It was imperative for the universe to come, for India to come out of slavery, so that universal spirit can manifest itself through India. He was against constitutional methods since Britishers were not responsible in India. He proposed direct actions like armed resistance or passive resistance. So the passive resistance was also direct confrontations. It was a passive resistance. There was a scope of violence in that. For India, armed strategy is not suited. So go for passive resistance. A strike at the root of British colonialism. That is India's source of raw materials and market for finished goods. So he wanted to tell that if Britishers will find it economically and viable to be here, then he will leave it. So he went in that way. He suggests Swadeshi and boycott. He proposed national education as British school are British school are for production of loyalists. Okay. Is it there? Theory of nationalism. Understanding of nationalism in general was inspired by Western scholars. Generally inspired by the Western scholars like Hegel, Herder, and Bergson. Hegel, I don't know exactly what did he tell with respect to nationalism, but Herder's cultural nationalism is there. And Nietzsche's concept also. What is Nietzsche's idea? From where Aurobindo is influenced. Okay, we shall find it. Even he was inspired from Lamprecht, Schopenhauer, understanding of Indian nationalism inspired by Vivekananda as well, Bankim Chand Chatterjee, and below it is universal spirit wants to give different messages from different nationalism like beauty from Greek, materialism from Britain, and spiritualism from India. So it was the idea of Bankim Chand Chatterjee. So India will be protector of the humanity on earth, and this will be used by Aurobindo Ghosh, that India will save the universe from the catastrophe. General understanding of nationalism in context of colonial masters say India is geographical entity and not a nation. It was said by Cambridge School. So response of liberals, that is early nationalist moderates, said India is nation in making. That is Surendranath Banerjee. Extremist Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal, Aurobindo Ghosh that told that India was nation from beginning. A nation has spirit and nation is natural. A spirit may be dormant but a spirit can't die. So we had to look at historical processes taking place in India. So to meet the spirit of nationalism of youth, we need bold theory of nationalism. So what is Indian nationalism? Aurobindo criticized Congress approach to hold session at different places. And he was influenced by new Vedantism of Vivekananda, where Vivekananda had criticized Brahminism. Vivekananda tells that bring original Sanatan Dharma, that is all are children of one God, that is universalism. Fundamental unity of the subcontinent is expressed in the way of life, because it is like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because subcontinent was having the same way of life. That is the fundamental unity, or unity in diversity. Fundamental unity is the basis of Indian nationalism, and nationalism should become the religion of the youth. It was also opined by Vivekananda. Youth should arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. Bankim Chand Chatterjee influenced his spiritual nationalism. That is Mother India as Goddess Kali. That is patriotism will be reflecting in Aurobindo Ghosh idea. So Mother India is Goddess Kali. So I think Goddess Kali is one of the most revered goddess in Kolkata or Bengal area. So Bankim Chand Chatterjee was taking cue from her and her Shakti, power. Shakti of Mother India is challenging British through his children, her children. In his words, nation is not a piece of land. Nation is not a collection of human beings. Nation is not a figure of speech. Nation is not a figment of people's imaginations. Nation is not a political program. Nation is not intellectual pastime. Nation is faith. So what is nation? Nation is faith. Nation is religion. Nation is divine. Nation has a spirit. So what is the aim of India as nation? So it will deliver the divine message of a spirituality to the world. So duty of Indians are there towards the God. God is supporting the rise of India, hence world should support the rise of India. Because India had a divine mission. So what divine mission? So it is through India, universal spirit aims to give his message. Only India has such civilizational values which can protect the world from crisis. Hence, the rise of India as a nation is not just for the benefits of Indians, it is also for the benefit of the humanity. Okay. I think above we had left two ideas like the concept of nation, fall of India. Yeah, there was a on the first or second page. I think there is a means section that is concept of nation. Okay, it was there. No, I forgot it. In general, concept of nation, it is a spiritual. Hegel had spiritualized the concept of nation. And it tells that every nation is a reflection of a dimension of universal spirit. Am I reading it right? I think I am doing it wrong. Drishyam sir, where have I gone?
Concept of nation is different one. मतलब हेगल का नहीं है, जनरल होगा वो शायद. देखते हैं, पढ़ लेते एक बार.
ओके ओके आई थिंक ना या हो गया ये क्रिटिसिज्म हो गया तो या इन जनरल concept of nation goes like that. It is a spiritualized, it has spiritualized the concept of nation, so it has given the spiritualistic sense to the nation concept. Every nation is a reflection of dimension of universal spirit. All humans are part of universal spirit, that is human unity, thus expressing the civilizational value of India and value of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Aim of every nation to seek its own fulfillment, don't imitate others. Believe in the idea of Gita. One should follow the law of one's being. If follow others' duty leads to suicide. So we should be what we are. Take good from all culture. Fall of India due to focus on tamas or dark elements. Tamas or dark elements. British rule was necessary. It eliminated tamas and come at original spirit. How is it? 19th century India is imitative, forgetful, artificial, which leads to death and sterilizations, because 19th century India was imitating Western way of life. It forgot its own strengths and ideas. It became artificial. It stopped being living and organic. So ultimately it will lead to death and sterilization of a country. It was going to like a fossilizations. I think those were the idea with respect to nationalism of Arvindo. Below there is a concept of liberty or freedom and concept of human unity. So first we shall try to do concept of liberty or freedom according to Aurobindo Ghosh. Are we there, sir? Yeah, और नीचे थोड़ा प्लीज स्क्रॉल डाउन.
कहाँ exactly हो?
Yeah.
Human unity वाला.
Concept of liberty, freedom. Yeah. Two more ideas are there to be studied: concept of liberty or freedom and concept of human unity. So that's it. So with respect to concept of liberty or freedom, he tells that it is a supreme value essential for both individual and nation. So just like Swaraj at individual level or national level, it was also supreme value essential for both individual and nation. Craving for freedom is lodged so deep in human heart that even thousands of arguments are powerless to disapprove it. So when we shall tell whether you want freedom or dignity or material well-being, so according to Aurobindo Ghosh, even thousands of arguments are powerless to disapprove it. Freedom. So what are the types of freedom? We shall study. Liberals and anarchist view gives ignore the importance of society, that is mechanical. Means Aurobindo Ghosh is telling that liberals view ignore the importance of society and it is mechanical, and it puts individual against the society itself. So he will go for balancing the society as well as individual freedom. Aurobindo Ghosh. Socialist concept completely ignores the individual and forces the individual to give up freedom. So we were observing this thing, Rawls idea, which comes in 1970s, I think. With respect to idea of freedom, Aurobindo tried to balance this between the freedom of individual and society. He understands freedom through soul. Freedom is obeying the law of our existence. Now we are seeing the spiritual aspect of Aurobindo, because he had later turned to be to live in harmony with other, including environment, is called freedom. Means freedom is obeying the law of our existence. Why are we existing, and with which force we are existing? We should be obeying that force. We should live in the harmony with other, and that also includes environment. So we can also give or smell the environmentalism in his idea. Real freedom is inner freedom. Real power is spiritual power to grow, to move towards perfection, move towards the perfection of nature. Wow. Freedom is not just fulfillment of mental or physical needs. It is following of divine which is within us. It is just like I am preaching something. By following inner freedom, we can create perfect social order. Rights are following Swadharma. With what are rights? So it is like following the Swadharma, means self principles, self rules, self religion. There is the continuity between rights and duties. There is harmony between rights and duties. There is harmony between individual and nature. There is harmony between individual and society. There is harmony between individual and the law of our existence. So he focuses on the harmony, and the divine, which is divine within us. So these are the things. Still he didn't go to the spirituality, but it was going to like foundation of the spirituality. Now the pure spirituality will emerge. Gave the idea of Sachidanand, that is Sat jod Chit jod Anand, Sat plus Chit plus Anand. So meaning purpose of life is attainment of happiness, which is based on realization of truth. Sat means truth, Chit means mind, and Anand means happiness. From Swaraj for nation to Swaraj for individual. So Swaraj of nation should be there, and that should also lead to the Swaraj for individual. Otherwise, if Swaraj for nation will come and there is no Swaraj for individual, that is also not good or not harmonious. Aurobindo was the first person to talk about the Purna Swaraj. Achieved through realization of God depends upon achieving the state of supermind or Chit. So Chit, which I had told to be mind, it is like a super mind, which we can achieve through yoga and tapa. That is meditation. Integral of yoga means, actually he had given the concept of integral yoga, not integral of yoga. That is integral yoga means combination of dharma, yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, hatha yoga, raja yoga. Religious meditations, knowledge meditation, bhakti, devotion meditation, stubborn meditation, and I am unable to give the perfect words for these things. Integral yoga requires nischay, tap, and sadhana. Tap and sadhana, that's it. Only through integral yoga we can move from a fragmented, disoriented state to a much sharper and clearer understanding of oneself, ourself. Okay. What is happiness? Attainment of happiness is based on the realization of ultimate reality. I am going out of my mind now after having so many things. He has also given the concept of human unity. He tells that aggregation is law of nature. If we don't follow the aggregation law of nature, nature will destroy us. Idea comes from civilizational value of Sanatan Dharma. So by using this idea, he will tell that we must aggregate, we must unite to fight the global concerns in present era. Actually, we are observing his idea's relevance in present term. When we face the global concerns, so we must unite. Otherwise, even the superpower alone can't face those challenges on their own. So, and that idea emanates from the Sanatan Dharma's value of civilizational value with respect to civilizations, and that is reflected in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. By telling his exact statement, aggregation is the law of nature. If we don't follow it, nature will destroy us. Conclusion: idea of human unity, which we just discussed, is more relevant today beyond the capacity of human or single state to deal with challenge alone. Okay.
कंक्लूजन के लिए मैंने एक गायत्री स्पिवाक का भी कोट पढ़ा था जो यूज कर सकते हैं, दैट औरोबिंदो सक्सेसफुली कंबाइंड आवर कल्चरल हिस्ट्री with the acknowledgement of plurality which will never die.
फिर से प्लीज रिपीट इट अगेन, अदरवाइज.
गायत्री आपका एक स्टेटमेंट इस कंक्लूजन में यूज कर सकते हैं, दैट औरोबिंदो सक्सेसफुली कंबाइंड आवर कल्चरल हिस्ट्री with the acknowledgement of plurality which will never die.
Christian sir, are you there?
अच्छा था, कोट अच्छा था ये शानू जी का। करना है क्या आपके नोट्स में से या फिर ओपी कॉपी में से? क्योंकि ये टॉपिक थोड़ा सा क्लैरिटी कम है लग रहा है मुझे, काफी और क्लैरिटी चाहिए इसमें।
सर जो नोट्स में है तो उससे करूं?
आप करिए, मतलब बता रहे हो तो।
ओके, आइडिया तो मेनली वही सब है, वो इसमें थोड़ा सा लिखा हुआ है उस
मतलब
लूसिड वे
ओवरऑल यार
में।
दिक्कत क्या हुई ना, ये जो नोट्स थे ना, ओवरऑल आई फेल्ट एज इफ कि ये नोट्स प्रॉपरली ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं लगे मेरे को।
Yeah, yeah, little bit that what
आई
you
डिड
are
नॉट
saying.
फाइंड इट कोहेरेंट।
Yeah, exactly. We lost the touch after
हाँ मतलब वो
nationalism, you know.
कहीं ना कहीं हैफाजार्ड लग गया, तो पता
Actually,
नहीं
na,
मतलब।
we lost the touch in nationalism idea and later in the spiritualisticness. So actually, those are not we are not acquainted with that idea in our general life. So we lost touch again.
करेक्ट करेक्ट। नहीं मतलब ठीक है, वो भी ठीक है। आई मीन नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग वन थिंग बट दैट फीलिंग ऑफ हैफाजार्डनेस ना, मतलब यार भले ही टॉपर के नोट्स है बट इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज नेसेसरी कि वो काफी अच्छे से होगा ना। प्रोबेबली वी नीड टू वर्क अपॉन दिस थोड़ा सा। चाहे कुछ और ऐड करना है तो देख लो, नहीं तो फिर
Actually, everything is
कैन
written.
स्टॉप।
Things are only those, but just written in linguistic manner, na? Like essay type, which you would always refer. So that's why here it is. Otherwise, things are same. In nationalism, na, he had taken the form of liberals. He had that nation is evolution, nation is modern concept. It comes with modernization, rationalization. Marxists tell that Benedict Anderson tells that nation is invented tradition. Cultural nationalism in Herder tells that German school of nationalism. This school nation is real, nation is eternal, it has a spirit, nation is natural. So existence of a nation is based on the recognition of common cultural symbols. So Arvindo's ghost theory is also known as cultural nationalism. And he was inspired by Vivekananda's New Vedantism and Bankim Chand Chatterjee's patriotism in Anand Math. So what is Neo Vedantism of Vivekananda? So it attacks Brahminism. So back to Veda type thing. No, end of the Vedas, but in New. Because Veda was the basis for the Brahminism. So in Neo Vedantism, under Vivekananda attacks Brahminism and considered Brahminism responsible for the lack of unity. So Aurobindo Ghosh also uses this idea that because of that there is lack of unity in India. So it suggests to go back to the principles of Sanatan Dharma. And what are the values of why should go? Because they were having the value of universalism and cosmopolitanism. So universalism is common God in all, and cosmopolitanism is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So using these ideas, Aurobindo Ghosh will set a tone for India as a spirit which has to be nurtured and to be set free. Because these were universalism and cosmopolitanism was within India in Sanatan Dharma. And later he also uses this idea in his idea of unity. So where to find the unity? So unity is found in the way of life, which is a lot of common things from east to west and north to south in Indian subcontinent. He also Ghosh also believed in the presence of unity in diversity, which is the basis of nationalist discourses in the country. He also believed that principles of Sanatan Dharma provide the foundational basis for unification in India. Another thing of Vivekananda which inspired Aurobindo, Vivekananda appealed to the youth in India to dedicate themselves for the cause of motherhood. So Aurobindo capitalized on this also. Aurobindo told that nationalism should be the new religion of youth in India. We should have similar commitment for nationalism which we have for religion. And Bankim Chand Chatterjee's idea of Mother Goddess Shakti, so That's also influencing Aurobindo Ghosh, because he tells that the symbol of goddess Shakti is to frighten the British goddess, and Shakti represents the power of millions of Indians who are challenging the foreign rule. So Aurobindo Ghosh gave his idea of nationalism by contradicting the moderate nationalist Cambridge school, and tells that nation is a faith, nation is a religion, nation is divine, nation has a spirit, and a spirit of India is present since beginning. A spirit may be sleeping, but now awakened. The right of India has a divine mission, so we had already told. And the idea of human unity, that's it. And on Aurobindo's idea of freedom, yeah. Aurobindo, his idea of freedom of individual has to be based on gospel of humanity. He mentions about the triangle of liberty, equality, and fraternity. According to him, individual freedom should be in harmony with the interest of nation and humanity as a whole. So this was a kind of harmony. And yeah, liberty, equality, and fraternity, trinity we also find in Ambedkar idea. Actually, what is there now with in Indian political thoughts notes now, it is not organized in with respect to any of the scholars. I think it's better to go with ma'am's notes. So that is more coherent and lucid manner, and that maintains the flow. And our thinkers' thought also don't fit in any particular school or particular ideology, so that we can find a continuity. They have given different ideas and like a collection of ideas. So anyhow we have sorted them according to our need. So, and if we go by the notes, it is very short, so we just lost the touch, we lose the coherency, flow.
ठीक है. Should I stop the recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone.